Welcome to Talk to Solomon, the wisdom of Solomon, another gem from Solomon's mind. Tonight, wonders and blunders.
Want to talk? So let's talk. Here. Talk. You want to talk? You gotta talk. You need to talk. News talk.
I talk, you talk to Solomon. I talk, you talk to Solomon. Yeah, let's talk to Solomon. Talk to Solomon.
You gotta talk. You wanna talk. So let's.
Wonders and blunders. Oops. The Democrat chairman in Colorado, a lady named, whatever her name is, the chairman said, the other side has been contentious in their disagreement on health reform, and the problem we have is a result of them stirring up this hate. What was the problem? Why, someone had done $11,000 worth of damage on their headquarters. Someone had taken a hammer and beaten the bejeebers out of all their windows. Oops. It was one of their own workers, one who had done this before, one who couldn't make up their mind whether they were a man or a woman, one who was a professional. Now, if you add that to a number of other occasions where a person going around calling people the N-word on their email turned out to be a black person who was a Democrat operative, the fact is, when you hear the left accusing the right of doing things, you can be sure that if it's bad, it's something that they did and are doing and find okay to do. Now here's an admonition and an admission and a newsflash. Are you ready? Sit down, please. AIDS occurs 50 times more often among homosexual men than among heterosexual men, and much higher percentage than among homosexual or heterosexual women. AIDS was and is a gay problem. Now, does that make it good? Of course not. Does that mean we shouldn't search for a cure? Of course not. But the reality is, as we heard Senator DeMint say on our show, behavior is a major factor in many facets of health, and AIDS is one. The Center for Disease Control said by a Dr. Amy Lansky, 53% of the 56,000 new HIV cases in 2006 were homosexual men. The incidence in the African American community is dramatically greater than their percentage of the population. Here's the reality. AIDS is a result, in the vast majority of cases, of choices of behavior. Certainly there are some people who get it from going to get a transfusion in a hospital where they haven't screened properly. But if you're an IV drug user and you choose to be an IV drug user and you choose to share a hypodermic with someone else, whoever that else might be, and you get AIDS, it's a tragedy. We should do something about it. But the answer is, you made bad choices. You made bad choices. That is a blunder, and it's no wonder that we see those percentages. And finally, UNESCO. You know who UNESCO is. That's the United Nations Economic, Social, and Cultural Organization. That's, remember how the kids gathered the pennies and they give them to UNESCO? Well, here's what they want to do with those pennies. Are you ready? The International Guideline on Sexual Education claims that international law requires states to provide sexuality education in primary, that's first, second, third, and fourth grades, and secondary schools. The report says children should be given explicit information on sex from the age of 5 as an entitlement. Now here's the claim. If you want to prevent STDs, if you want to prevent unwanted pregnancies, if you want to prevent abortions, if you want to prevent physical and psychological trauma, you tell 5-year-olds all about sex, and then they'll know not to do it. No, I'm not talking about the 5-year-olds in the United States Senate or in the United States House or in the governor's mansions. I'm talking about the 5-year-olds in kindergarten. Now, here are the facts. The more sex education, the more STDs, the more unwanted pregnancies, the more physical and emotional trauma, the more abortions, not less. Everyone knows it, and the facts are irrelevant. UNESCO, the UN, that's a blunder, and it's no wonder.